Hello, welcome to Daily Wellbeing with Gemma. So, start of another week, and I want us to think about how we really approach tasks for the week. People go about it in different ways, and of course, because we're in lockdown, we're not our usual selves, and so we're likely to be a bit less motivated, we're likely to need a little bit more help. So, I want to talk you through what I'm doing to get myself organised for the week. I start off by getting a fresh sheet of paper. I've got the whiteboard for you here now. And I first start by just dumping everything that's in my head onto it. And I sort it out into my work tasks and my personal tasks because that helps me to clear it up, having them both in one place. For you, it might be different. I am working through the lockdown, but not everybody is. So think about whether that's right for you. But I find that the act of writing things down and getting it out of my head is good for my well-being because then I'm not worrying about forgetting something. Going back to some of the other sessions where I've talked about being balanced, I do try and put nice stuff on there as well. So, for instance, in the kind of personal, the home tasks, I've got friends I want to call, or I'm enjoying reading a book, and that's something that I want to do for me. So it doesn't all have to be work related. You can plan on some of those nice things like going for a walk, doing your journaling, meditation, or whatever it is you need to give yourself balance. So start by jotting it all down. And then the next thing really that I want you to be aware of is that when it's written down like this, it can actually be a bit intimidating. So even though I get it all jotted down, this is not the list that I use on a daily basis because, to be honest, if I look at the whole thing, it's a bit overwhelming and it can be a bit demotivating to go, I'm never going to finish all that. So what I do next really is once it's all out of my head, I work out what are my priorities. So what are the most important things or the most urgent things to do this week? So I know I've got to give somebody else a report. There's some accountability there. I know that one is important to me because I'm doing these every day. There's a deadline to recording the videos and I've got some resources to do. So I wouldn't know all of them, but I'm just picking out what my priorities are. So that's a priority. I could do with giving him a call. Some of these things, I really like to do that. Not a priority, there's no deadline, but I really want to do that. And planning what I'm going to do for people's birthdays when they're in lockdown is going to take a bit of time. So picking out those important things helps to focus you. Otherwise, you might just kind of choose what's easy to tick off. And then what I would do is either the night before or each morning, take a quick look at this list and pick one or two things off it for that day. So I don't have the whole list kind of staring at me, making me feel bad. I just kind of go, right, what's the most important thing for me to do today? What do I feel like doing? And I might just write one or two things in my diary for today and just focus on those. And if I get to cross them off, I cross them off, and the next day I see what's next. And if not, I just keep chipping away at them. It's really important that we're practicing self-care at the moment because we are less productive, and that's perfectly fine and normal. As long as we're making a little bit of progress and feeling good about the progress that we are making, that's all we can ask for. So I hope this is useful. Think about how do you prioritise the tasks? How do you store them? I'm quite happy with a list, but some people prefer to kind of put them on post-it notes. You might even want to set reminders on your phone, things like that. Some people work digitally, some people work on paper. And for me, I'm trying to work out, right, what's the most important thing, and I'll crack on with that. But in all honesty, some days I wake up and think, I'm not very motivated and this takes a lot of effort. So I'll do something else just for the sake of crossing something off. Or I might get to 3:00 in the afternoon and think, even though, it's still work time, I don't feel like doing these work things. So you know what, I'm going to pick something off this list because it feels different and that's what I need for my well-being. So do what works for you. That's the most important thing with all of this stuff, is there's no one way to do it. It's about you exploring and working out what's best for your well-being, because we are living through unusual times. So I hope that's helpful, and if you've got any other tips or ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments. See you tomorrow. Bye.